Doodlebud here. I was just about to sit down to shoot 6 inks to last a lifetime, but I couldn't wait to do this review any longer, so I'm going to do this one real quick, then I'm going to shoot that one. The reason I'm excited is I just recently discovered this pen. This is the Parker 25. I didn't know this pen even existed until recently, and I found out first because I saw a new pen on Aliexpress, the Mahjong B25, and it looks just like this. And I saw it and it had a few different colors. I thought that's a really cool looking pen. So I picked a color. I ordered it. It still has not arrived. That was December 21st. It is February 14th. And I'm recording this. Don't worry, we took care of things before the video. But here I am, not with the Mahjong B25, but a Parker 25. Because I didn't know about this Parker 25 until after I ordered the Mahjong. And I just got really tired of waiting. And so I went online on eBay. Found one that looked nice, got it in the UK, 15 pounds, plus some shipping and all that stuff. So I don't know what I paid. All in all, Canadian, I don't know, probably 50 bucks, something like that by the time you're all done. But anyways, I think it was worth it. It'd be even better if it was, 25 bucks, but whatever, it is what it is. It's a super cool looking pen. It is a really unexpected gem, and I'm calling this the ultimate oatmeal pen. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, oatmeal can be kind of not so exciting. But if you go to a very fancy restaurant, like I'm thinking up at Whistler, there's some really nice restaurants. I've had oatmeal there at the morning. Maybe there was a conference I was attending. And it's really, really good oatmeal. Like you only have eggs and you skip bacon and all the other stuff, the huge spread they have. You don't do any of that. You just do good eggs and that really fantastic oatmeal because it's really good. That's what this pen is. It doesn't have amazing styling, but it's got, really nice styling. It's not a super flex nib or anything at all, but it writes really well. And so you can just carry this thing around anytime. And I think it's a sharp looking pen. So I'm going to put the tripod on. I'm one-handed here, right? Shake it around. So let me get the tripod up and let's start talking. I do find it ironic that when I saw the Mahjong B25 on AliExpress, I double-taked and I went, wow, did they just come up with a really good design all on their own? And of course, the answer is no. No, they did not. But they did bring back what I think is a really cool design that is probably been mostly forgotten, unless you have one of these. So I don't know why this pen really hasn't got much attention. I don't know, but I think it's really cool. So let's run you through it. Cartridge converter. This is the Parker 25. I'll maybe put it on the screen, or what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description. I think it's called parkerpens.net. I could just read from the website for you, or you can just go there yourself and read all the information. Whoever, you run that site, thank you. It's a great service to all of us folks who are big into fountain pens that, whether it's the Parker Pens one, there'll be ones about Mont Blanc and Schaefer and all these different stuff. To all the vintage fountain pen enthusiasts, you must chat with each other and put all that information together. Thank you for your service, because I can go on there and read up all about this. And again, I think it was 1974. I'm just going off the top of my head that these started. And yeah, really sharp look at design. Parker hired an outside designer. The company was going through a lull. Things weren't going good. They needed a new pen to kind of get, I guess, more youth into writing was the whole philosophy. I guess they were just going, we're not making the stuff that's getting attention. So they hired someone else, which is a smart move to do. You got to put your ego aside to do that. But this thing came out and it was a hit. And I think it's a really cool pen. I forget exactly what the pricing was. That's where you go to the website to get all the details. I think it was somewhere around $15 though. So nice little pen. I like the styling you got. There's a few different versions. There's like Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, I think maybe a 5, but definitely 4. I think this one is either a Mark 2 or a Mark 3. There's some subtle little changes. I think it's the Mark 3. It has to do with a little dimple on the cap, and then I think something to do with the logo change. So it's either a 2 or 3. My gut's telling me a 3, but someone in the comments will correct me, and that's no problem. You let us know so other people can identify as well. But yeah, very simple design. It is stainless steel, so you start off with, I guess it sort of looks like a dime, and then ka-chunk. That's how this thing gets formed. It goes into a die. So very fast and efficient to make these. And then the finish too, you gotta keep the cost low on a low-cost pen, right? You can't do expensive things on cheap pens because they become expensive too. So the finishing that you can see here, just probably a brushed. They'll have some type of little machine that just runs through and does that really quick and easy. parts are stamped out. So, but man, they did a really good job. This clip is nice and springy, right? It's just, yeah, very simple. There's just a little plastic dealie that goes right through there, little button, right? So easy for assembly, all that stuff. There's the logo, and you got the Parker here on the barrel. Nice clear stamping, like that's nice job. You'll see this on, the cheap pens. Nothing's crisp and clear. Look how good of a job they did with that stamping. Like, just spot on. You're not going to, cheap out on that. You do a good job. Made in England. And then it's got the AC on there. So the folks who were wanting to see that, now you just saw that, because that's important stuff. I like how the body dips down like this. At first looks kind of weird, but then you get used to it. But what happens is slip cap, and the slip cap is just perfect. Really well executed. You slip it on the back, and it has a nice little friction. Like, it's just very simple. There's a liner in there, and the liner grabs on here nicely, so it's secure. The cap not wiggling. Sometimes you have pens and the cap wiggles. There is zero wiggle, and you can see the sides here. Everything lines up pretty good. So it's a sharp-looking pen. I use it posted. For me, more comfortable. It's a very light pen. I'll get the scale out in a second. For some folks, that's no problem. It just seems this is meant to be posted, and it really just feels nice. The balance is a little better too. You actually want almost a touch more weight in the back because it's quite a light little pen. And the grip is good. We just got, plastic. There's a few color options. Black and blue were the most popular. I think they called this one the Flighter. Apparently it was supposed to be designed, optimized for air travel. I don't see any redeeming qualities in this particular pen that make it better for air travel than another pen. There's nothing super duper about that, but yeah, this would be no problem for air travel. It almost looks like, I guess, like maybe older airplanes, but that stainless steel with those highlights, it sort of fits like I'm thinking of the belt buckle on an airline, right? That type of brush steel has that type of look to it as well. Here's a cool little thing. Okay, also, yeah, the nib here. There's a look at the nib. You got this round hooded style nib, but it's exposed, right? So I like that design. I think it looks really well with the pen. Spin it off the back. The threads are just perfectly smooth. There's no grinding. There's no, people say, oh, you can't do metal on plastic. You can totally do metal on plastic. You just have to do it properly. It is done absolutely properly. They have a brass insert. That's better than the steel. Don't do the stainless steel on that. The brass is a very smart idea. And the thread profile and injection molding is just absolutely perfect. So this is, older Parker. Because I know other companies use the name and the manufacturings other places. This is proper Parker, where they made it well. The new ones they do not make them in the same regard. Anyways, here we go here. Now, here's a little hack. Whoa, drop that. Oh, I caught it with the legs. We're okay. But here we go. This is a Lamy converter. This is not the converter that was in the pen. Let me show you. This is the converter it came with. All right, so it's like the aerometric style. So you have a bladder and you push it. They work fine. They're okay, but I'm not in love with them. It's an older technology. It works just fine. There you go there. It's got all the nice stamping. It's made really well. No sharp edges anywhere. Like, again, if you're going to make one, that's the way you make one. They did a really nice job on that. But yeah, I was told this little secret by Maya Furlong. She's the president of the Vancouver Pen Club. And she said, oh, just so you know, on like the Parker Vectors and those types of pens, you can fit a Lamy cartridge. And I didn't have a Lamy cartridge handy, but I said, let me try the converter. You can also fit a Lamy converter because the neck is down far enough so the little tabs aren't going to be in the way. So now you can just use a Lamy stuff. In you go. So that's what I did with mine, and I inked it up that way. So that's a cool little tip. But yeah, those threads are just nice and smooth. Nothing's gouging or grinding plastic. These threads will last the lifetime of the pen, which is what a pen is supposed to be designed and manufactured that way. But there you go. There's a look at it. Let's write with it really quick. It is a total sleeper of a pen, but it writes wonderfully. What I'm going to do for the writing sample is I'm not going to talk at all. I'm not going to do music in the background. I'm going to disconnect my mic, have it close to the page, and just try to record just the sound of it because it's a very nice writer. It's, unique feel, and I really quite enjoy it. Actually, you know what? First, I am going to switch the ink. I put Presidential Blue into the pen. It's okay, but it's too washed out, it seems. Anyways, I'll do a super fast writing of that. I'm going to put Midnight in, and we'll compare the difference. I think it's a better match. Here's a closer look at those two inks side by side. It's okay, but just kind of flat, a little bit boring, which is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But I think as far as just matching goes, you know, that's pretty darn close. Like, yeah, I hope it turned out well using the microphone to give a little bit of a sound to it. But this pen just writes really well. Like I said over here, you can write for hours and hours and never get sore. I wonder how many people actually were so excited to see that. They started typing to leave the comment before, they couldn't even wait before I corrected it. So I like to do fun things like that. Anyways, fantastic writer. I've been using this, my 2-pen carry case here. It's been traveling with my recently vintaged Gravitas Century pen here in brass. And then I put my Esterbrook scribe nib. I put that in here. And it's got a really fun blue ink in it. So those have been going side by side. And yeah, fantastic pen. I can't say enough good things about it. Anyways, it's light. So there we go, about 19.5 grams. That's with the converter and the ink. You know, you're not really going to use this uncapped, but there you go. Let's call it 13 without the cap on it. Let's do a quick size comparison and we'll wrap it up. Couple pens for the size comparison. We have a Hongdian. Oh gosh, I forgot now. I think it's the C1. Now we have the Parker 25, a Pilot Vanishing Point, Lamy All-Star, and then the Enso Bolt in titanium. Forgot to put the Parker 25 in the middle, so I had to move it there. But here we are with the caps off. Now I'll post them. There you go. There's a nice little look at that. So I really like the size. It's just very, very comfortable. Let's get you the physical dimensions now. So the main body of the pen, 10 3/4 millimeter, sections 9.8, slight little taper, just a little bit. Where we go? Yeah, about 9.2 or so. And the cap, it's about pretty much the same as the body, probably just a touch more. Pretty darn close there. There we go. And let's give you overall dimensions. 131.6, 119, and 142 posted. Section is nice and long. It's grippy. If this was stainless steel the whole way, it would not be grippy, be slippery. And it's just the right tactility in that plastic too. It's smooth, but it's got just the perfect grippiness. Transition on the section is just perfect. No sharp edge, nothing. Just, yeah. They made this pen extremely well. Every little part of the manufacturing is really, really good. And construction is just top notch. This is how you make a very high quality, really well working, you know, affordable price pen. Back then, again, this was in the 70s, so $15, whatever that's worth here today, you know. But if a pen came out today with inflation, whatever that works out to, I'll post it on the screen. I'll do the post math. I'm curious, would you pay that for the pen today? Well, figured I'd do it just right now. 1974, $15, 3.76 average inflation rate. We're coming in just shy of $100. I guess the $50 price tag isn't that bad after all. And that is with the shipping. It was only 15 pounds for the pen. So that was probably just a little under $30 Canadian. So we'll leave it there. As you can tell, I'm impressed with it. I do have the Mahjong B25 on the way, and I'll sure to do a comparison of the two. I know for a fact, just from looking at it, I zoom in on the pictures when I see pens, and I could just tell there's a few little things. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, I could just see from the pictures of the Parker, it was better. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll do the two. You know, what are you getting? I think it like I got mine for about what? Well, now it lists for $20 Canadian. I got mine super special, worked out to like $8, but the shipping has been forever. So sometimes those are just a sucker deal. You see the super cheap price, you get enticed. It's December 21st. It's February 14th. That's a long waiting while. So yeah, I think right now they're listed for about $20 Canadian, so maybe $15 US. So it is interesting. The pricing's pretty close to the original pricing of the pen, but I know for a fact the quality won't quite be there. But that'll be a fun comparison to do. Okay, that's it. There we go. Love to hear your thoughts. Are you a Parker 25 holder, collector? Big time fan of that, and happy to see a new version of this come out, affordable to kind of spark some interest. That is one thing with the copycat pens, right? You can say, oh, they should come up with their own designs. I have a pen over in a drawer right now by them, and it's not the best designs. And but they do a very good job of replicating pens, and they make them pretty well. So yeah, that Mahjong B25 got me interested in the real pen, and I ordered one. So they are gateway pens. They do make a good spot in the pen community. I enjoy them. So looking forward to that one arriving. We'll talk to you soon. Feel free to click around, like a thumbs up, Check out the description for the details of things you saw, like that big giant bulb syringe. I'll leave a link in the description for that. Feel free to hit subscribe, potentially join. Catch you next time.